Hello. Okay, so I've been working a bit. I added relative positioning, a really easy way to add textures, stuff like that. Let me show you. Okay, as this is, you can see it's staying to the middle of the screen no matter what I set the position to, or the screen says to. And I'm doing it like this. X equals 0.5 or x 0.5. And then I have this percentage here, perc. Set it to true. Then this happens. The screen size, which is 1920 in this case. Well, 1917 because I'm missing 3 pixels here and there. But if I click on this and then gear in here, you can see 960. I'm not missing any pixels. I don't know what I was talking about. And then we have 508. This, where actually I'm missing some pixels because there's up here and down here. So yes, we get a width and height, which is this width 200, with height 400, which as you can see the it's 1080p, which means that it's 400 either way because of our pivot point is 0.5. Just remember that. Pivot point 0.5 means height is added to both sides. Yep. You see the textures are weird looking. This one at least, the back one. That's because I don't have 9 slice added in yet. Quick example. Imagine this. If I didn't scale this. So this is the original. No, it's not. This is the original. So you can see these different colored shapes, squares, rectangles. Imagine that as its own small texture. You can, with that, if you store these as data, you can figure out any other point of data. So if you change the image, once you have this data, you can figure out this width and scale it properly. Also, this would get rendered as its own separate vertices instead of just one big one, causing it to get scaled wrong. So you'd get rendered this, and these corner bits, they will never change. The size and width never changes. So from the original texture, it grabs them, and once it renders this one, so this is 0, 0, it renders whatever. For example, this is 2, 2, so 3 by 3. So it renders this square. To render this bit, it takes to render this scaled bit, because it only knows this data. It only knows that this is width of 45 in this case, or 42. So it knows, okay, this is 42. But if I render 42, that's not the entire thing. So what to do is it gets the entire width, minuses the square, minuses this square, and suddenly you have the right width. So that's what you do for the height, the width, everything, these edges, and what you do for the middle bit. That's how you scale it up, which I'm going to add in the future to get rid of the yucky scaling. And when I add that, I'm actually also going to get rid of this rect thing. I'm going to just change it to be like, I guess I call it texture data, and then I'd give it a name of like widget background, and it would just look it up in a dictionary. It would get the correct rectangle, and if it is a 9 slice scaling thing, it's going to use that instead. But I haven't done that yet, so I'm not showing that. You can see here, if I set this to 100, move this to the side, it moves down. Yep. Images. You can see here, loader, load texture UI. Let's get path texture. Get texture here. Path.get texture returns the texture's path here. You can see. This engine texture gets loaded by default. So I have three textures here. My entities, my atlas of UI, and my engine assets, which engine assets gets loaded by default to engine instead of this asset loader engine. See, we also load some shaders and register them. What else do I need to do? Because I'm already talking for 5 minutes. Yes, to get the texture, it needs to be the same name here as here. This texture name needs to be the same to load this up. If we go to this one real quick, it's this from here to here. You can see it's 315.1, 48.48 at the bottom here. This and this. Put my mouse here. 15.1. Yep. And it's this one as well, which is 315, 50, 148.26. You can see spacer 15 for 146, 50. Yep, these two are different. Yep, and that's about it, I think. Quick showcase, and you can pretty quickly make stuff. It's a bit weird considering there's no 9 slice yet, because it's a bit finicky, but I still need to add text. 9 slice. I'm happy that relative is done. But once I add those, framework is pretty much done, I think. I hope I'm right. Anyways, take care. Have a good rest of your day.